Hi folks, Nick Shaheen here, recapping the day and week, the week ending March 20th. A fantastic day for the Bulls on the scoreboard. At 0.94% on the Dow and the SPX, pretty much the same. NASDAQ a little behind at 0.72%. However, it was leading early in the day. More on that. The small caps RUT ended the day up 0.92%. However, they were lagging early in the day. More on that. So the day started out with a bang. NASDAQ gapped up, and here is the S&P. Started the day great, climbed and climbed and climbed, and then we let go at the end of the day. Why? I'm not exactly sure, but here's Apple. It looks like it had a terrible day. It's down minus 1.25%. Not so. The scoreboard is really misleading, okay? Up until this time, 10 minutes to go, maybe even shorter than 10 minutes ago, Apple was doing just fine. It was green, lagging the market, but it was still just about green. And then suddenly, boom, fell off a cliff down to 125 from 128. Quad-witching mojo, gremlins, shenanigans, call it what you want. Something happened. So money flowed out of Apple into something else. I'm not sure. There was a concurrent spike in Tesla, but this is just speculation on my part. Anyway, bullish day. However, bulls left a lot on the table. Look at the NASDAQ. They actually closed, towards the low of the day. They gapped up and they meandered and they got to definitely over 5,000 and within reach, I think 18, 19 points, something like under 20 points of all-time high, the last holdout on the all-time high of the indices. Okay, so let's recap. Bulls left some money on the table today. Bulls definitely left some money on the table from the small caps. There were a lot of call positions at the 1280 that went worthless. 2100 level did not close for the SPX. It was under 2099 point something. So anything above 2100 as far as calls, buyers lost their money there. Setup for next week looks bullish as of today's morning before the open. What happened today is yet to be seen. That we won't know until tomorrow. I mean, Monday's open, pre-open. So the setup currently is bullish. There's good support behind all the indices, and there is some resistance above at 2100, for example, on the SPX and above, but not formidable. So they have room, the bulls have room to move up next week. How the reset of the current short positions happened is the question that we won't know until next week. So that is still an unknown. And so I don't want to argue with the bulls or the bears, so I sell spreads. So I go out in time and up and lower than current prices. I leave myself different, a good-sized buffer in time and good-sized buffer in price distance from current prices. And then I sell spreads, and then I watch time tick by and try to make some money there. And I don't get too aggressive, and I don't employ hopium. Now, as far as what happened in the small caps, they were lagging most of the day and then ripped up higher. IBB, which is the biotech index, closed red, or actually was red with minutes to close, even though Biogen IDEC was up 10%, for example. So the hoopla around the whole space was a little strange that it didn't translate into the index itself. Well, this is the first day of Apple in the Dow. Let's go look at it. There it is. Hardly any redness, right? NASDAQ, Apple red, but it wasn't so the whole day. That's Biogen. And here's the weird part, okay? Healthcare, look how green it is here. And you go to the Russell, look at healthcare, all red. Half of it, I mean, this side is all red. ISIS Pharma is most noted there. The S&P, obviously Apple is the big drag there. So what happens with Apple on Monday will probably determine how likely the Monday open is going to be exuberant or not. There were a few stories. Levels-wise, if we go to the charts, the levels look like this is the small caps IWM. We are trading in a rising wedge, and we kissed the upper end. We've kissed it before. We've kissed the lower end. We started from the lower end, kissed the upper end, then a couple of times meandered above it, towards it, and then here we are. Are we going to set another breakout or meander back down to kiss this end? This doesn't have to cause a sell-off. It can just drift that way. Volume was pretty good, so it's a legit rally, if you want to call it. The S&P finally turned a green candle. It's had 3 red ones in a row, so the SPY will represent that for us. Indeed, now we're still short of the highs, but it's still a nice move in the right direction on volume. The Qs, that's the NASDAQ, I believe same story, and closer to the highs, I believe, than the S&P, and just as good a volume as last week. So everybody is breaking at least a couple of candles, except the small caps, which didn't have that. They've been more exuberant than anybody so far. Okay, so, but you know, what bothers me is that we are popping on the wrong thing. We're not popping. We're popping on news of something bad did not happen. For example, today's news was Greece. Can you believe it? We're back listening to Greece. Added probably 8 points before the open, and we just never looked back. So we're not popping on news of new fundamentals that are good. The Biogen IDEC was good. Okay, it's got new fundamentals, so I can stand behind a story like that. But the fact that, you know, the CEO of XYZ company didn't get fired, that's why you need to, I need fundamentally driven rallies to show up, because those have meat behind them and they have conviction. If I follow a company with conviction long, then I'm less likely to hit sell at the first sign of bad news everywhere, okay? So that's why I say at some point we're going to need a positive catalyst that fuels a rally in order to really, really earn the all-time highs. Having said that, speaking of all-time highs, okay, we've got all-time highs in the S&P, all-time highs in the Dow, all-time highs in the, currently all-time highs in the small caps. The NASDAQ within a hair of all-time highs, I think 20 points, I think less than 20 points were within that at some point today before the close. So once they hit all-time highs there, what else is left? We've got Germany, I think, all-time highs, China, all-time highs, Japan, all-time highs. I'd like to see how many, what's the percentage of companies are at all-time highs here and abroad. And what's next? Gold is higher today. Bonds are higher today. What's next? Okay, so that's I'm seriously asking myself what's next so I can go long. But what am I buying long? Where's the opportunity? If an alien comes down here and says, "What can I buy that's cheap?" What? Everything is all-time high. I'm out. They get in the spaceship and leave. So there were a few stories that were in the news this week that I may want to pick on next week. Starbucks. If we have a drawdown, why is Starbucks red on such exuberant yesterday? They left a big tail yesterday. They are respecting this upper end. I need to see a green candle above it so I can be convinced that it's chasing that orange one. So if tomorrow, Monday, it's got another red candle, and especially if markets are green or flat, then maybe debit put spreads in Starbucks will pay long term. There are a few other lame ducks like that. Tesla, it was in the news today, and that's all it could muster, so maybe debit put spreads in Tesla. I am holding some. Facebook, I also am holding some, even though it's breaking out. It is a confirmed breakout, but it's not a bet against Facebook itself. It's a bet against the market, but it has a few bucks to go, perhaps. This tail doesn't make it look like it, but Monday candle will be a good tell. There are a few other names to look at there, but Celgene also, that was by request, so we'll do it here. Why not? Celgene could be headed to this orange line extension, so say about here. So it has a few bucks left in it, especially that it was a breakout above this line, and it respects this green line to a certain extent. So maybe some credit put spreads to finance some debit call spreads and take a bet on some more upside with somebody else's money, because those credit put spreads will finance those spreads up there. All right, so this is Nick signing out. Again, I leave you with the thought that next week is set up to be bullish. However, this is sentiment trading. We're popping on sentiment, so the conviction levels are not there, so be careful what you chase. Nick signing out.